Welcome into the Ringerverse.
Fan.
This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. Look, okay, so I gotta say something real quick before I get into the intros. Everybody is dressed up for Halloween, and I chose a Halloween mask that I think I look cool in, and everybody, including Arjuna, don't want me to wear it.
It's not that you don't look cool.
We can't hear you. We put subtitles on you right now because nobody can hear you.
It's video also, but even it's an audio format, brother. They need to hear you.
I feel like people can hear me.
And I'm telling you, they cannot.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something, and you guys tell me whether or not you can hear me or not. Okay? Jomi loves white women. Who heard that?
It's not fair.
you like it's the one thing that we need is clear, uninterrupted vocals.
We work for an audio company. I don't know what to tell you, my man. This is Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinkerer of things, Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions, he's got answers. We're joined by the Midnight Collective, oppressive Midnight Collective that doesn't want people to express themselves. Aleya, O'Brien, Zenieris, Arjuna, the Watcher, Ramgopal, and sitting in for Kerm, we got Isaiah leaving Las Vegas. He likes to have a drink. Jesus Christ.
He likes to have a drink. Charles
and what does he look like?
My rep on this pod is in the mud.
He likes to have a drink. He likes to have a drink. Isaiah walks around, by the way, like this. Like he's like, hey,
chill out here,
it's
bro.
It's like a velociraptor would like to have a whiskey.
Isaiah walks around like this, like, hey. You want a quick nibble? That's what we call it.
OD, man.
Wow.
Charles is on vacation, but we are still the Midnight Boys. Follow us on socials. Happy Halloween to everyone. Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Save Jomi's job.
Man, guys, we're so close to 40K on Instagram. We're maybe just under 200 followers away. So make sure y'all follow. Fun fact, did you guys know that the majority of our followers on Instagram are from New York?
Oh, well, condolences to them.
I mean, I, for one, don't really care.
The New York Cucks.
Woo! The Yankees lose.
Yeah.
Dodgers won the championship.
Dodgers win it.
So you spit in the face of your fans.
I mean, if they're Yankee fans, absolutely.
You spit in their face.
Well, I didn't spit in their fans.
I mean, they try to yank the ball out
Aaron
from us.
Judge spat in their face.
They try to yank the ball
Volpe.
out.
That was crazy.
Not one fan, yeah.
Rizzo, Cole. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Not my fault.
Congratulations to the Dodgers.
Hey, man, I'm going to be at the parade tomorrow. We're going to go crazy, man. City going up. City back up. We outside. Hey.
We're now on YouTube. You can watch every Midnight Boys House of Art episode on youtube.com/@Ringerverse. Like, comment, and subscribe. Before I get to program reminders, I want to say something about Isaiah.
Great. Back to this.
Isaiah won the Ringer Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or. Is that what it's called?
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
As the best player on the Ringer soccer team. He won it. From what I'm hearing, you were the best player on the Ringer soccer team. Is that not true, Isaiah?
I wish it was true. If I was good at soccer, it would be true. A lot of chances, high XG.
He's being modest.
How many goals did you score this season?
2.
Okay, that's the
tie for the team lead. To be fair,
tie for the team lead. Golden boot.
It says a lot more about us.
For the team lead.
That's right.
How many goals did y'all score total as a soccer team?
Gotta be like 13.
Yeah, we scored 5 in one game.
Yeah, so it's gotta be like the 50s.
Wait, you're the goalie?
It was the 50s.
No, I was a goalie one time. That was like an emergency situation. Wasn't as bad as you might think, but still wasn't great.
Did you dive at all?
No.
It's not that serious, brother.
Hey, listen.
It's not my life.
So what was you guys' record in the end?
what was it? One.
A lot of fun and
Yeah.
It was
It was
a lot of fun.
You know,
fun.
a lot of memories.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of
friends make along the way.
The friends made along the
And
way.
if you had fun, you won.
Yeah.
How many did y'all
Exactly.
lose? How many did y'all lose?
I mean, you kind of lose count after 4 or 5.
That's cool though. Fun in 7.
Yeah, fun and seven.
Fun in 7.
Fun in 7.
I wish it was 7. I wish it was just 7.
1 in 10. Brothers! Tomorrow, House of R will give you their deep dive on Agatha, which I didn't realize that what we watched was the finale.
Jesus Christ, man.
I thought there was more. I'm serious. When I came in here today, like
Right.
I was watching the show last night. Me and Khaliga were watching the show, and then it was like, oh my God, there's another one. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, because there's 2. I was like, I thought there was gonna be 2 the last week, but maybe they're gonna give us 2 this week, and then 1. I didn't know. I started to reach out, but there was 2.
Yeah.
2 great, if not sort of bewildered. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll get
This
into it.
Saturday, November begins. Mid edition brings on Ben Falken Lindbergh. Or Ben Falken Lindbergh, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Ben Falken Lindbergh.
He talks like that the whole time he was on.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ben Falken. Did he for real?
He
No.
did, 100%.
Has he embraced it?
He
Oh,
loves
absolutely.
it. Loves it. Yeah.
Yeah.
To talk about Arcane and Star Trek Lower Decks. You guys went to the Arcane premiere last
Yes, we
night.
We
did.
How was it?
Incredible.
Man.
Mid-November came early.
November came early. We had a lot of fun.
My
There's some
God.
stuff that we gotta.
Jesus, what the fuck?
I need
You
you.
really
How many
need to chill.
strokes? How many
I
strokes?
need you to relax.
How many strokes does that count as?
The only strokes that happening were strokes of genius at that arcade premiere.
So where did
So-
so you guys were bricked up in the thing? I wish
No,
my
absolutely
dog-
not. No, we were in
no.
suits.
I miss
No,
my
we
dog,
were. We
bro.
were.
We
Where
were
my dog
We were
at?
professional.
we
Y'all
had,
were
we
bricked
had
up
church
in there.
attire on. we were
No,
civil.
we were not bricked up in
Getting
there.
like stroking.
Nah, no.
How many strokes is
No.
considered early? Seriously. Like, what's the time limit?
I don't know how long. What was the Tootsie Roll, the Tootsie Pop commercial like?
How many licks to get to the center of
But
Tootsie
then
Pop?
you can't go by that though, because
And then
then
Mr. Owl was an asshole
the
about it.
owl just fucking bites it.
bites it.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to bite it.
No.
But on today's show, we're giving you our reactions to the finale of Agatha All Along and the latest episode of The Penguin. The Penguin.
Stop it.
The Penguin. Agatha All Along. You're really into this, Steve. This has been your show.
It was good. I've been really, really enjoying it, and maybe that changed a little bit.
Yeah, because you
At
don't
the
know what
end,
media
but-
literacy is.
Damn,
That's something to talk about.
it's tough. Spoiler warning for the MCU and for Agatha.
We're getting ready to talk about
Agatha All Along.
You're listening to a reaction podcast.
The spoilers are coming. Okay, we're going to be spoiling all of the witchy stuff that we could spoil.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spoil a little bit of WandaVision, maybe some of the past of MCU television.
Yes.
I might throw a curveball at you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I might want to do a little impromptu talk about the MCU television schedule
All the stuff.
the rest of this year
Sure.
and next year. There was a trailer that came out.
Mhm.
A lot of people were into it. So I might just throw that.
Right.
Might just
Throw it
throw
in
that
there,
at you
and then
guys.
just
Just throw that at you guys, okay? But right now we have to begin our reactions. And to do that, we have to bring you the Midnight Manifest, talking about all the need to know to Agatha All Along. Who is doing this? You're
Jomi Skittle.
Joan Skittle doing the Midnight Manifest.
Yes.
Okay? You gonna do it right now? Gonna do it live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Take it the fuck away then.
All right, guys. This is your Midnight Manifest for the finale of Agatha All Along. Episode 8 is called Follow Me, My Friend, to Glory at the End. Episode 9 is Maiden Mother Crone, both directed by Ganja Montanaro. Episode 8 is written by Peter Cameron. Episode 9 is written by Jack Schaefer and Laura Donnelly. Episode 8 starts right where episode 7 ends. Agatha and Rio are making some new additions to their deal. As Billy and Jen join back with Agatha on the road, they find themselves right at the beginning. After putting their shoes back on, they are moved to their final trial. Jen finds out Agatha bound her. Agatha helps Billy find Tommy's soul, and Agatha plants a seed and grows a flower through the cracks of the floor, and they all escape the road. Rio pulls up on Agatha at her crib, but Billy asks her how her son died, and she gives herself up to death. They make out. It's really nice and sweet, and Agatha returns from whence she came. Billy, in full Wiccan getup, gets into a Subaru Forester and drives home, only to discover aspects of the road all over his house and then a cackle. From where? We will find out right after this flashback. Episode 9 starts with Agatha giving birth in 1750. Rio approaches her and tells her it's only a matter of time, but allows Agatha to keep her child, Nicholas. 6 years later, Agatha and Nikki are traveling the road while Agatha takes all the power from the witches with Nikki's help. Nikki starts to sing a tune akin to the Witches' Road song we know and love, but all good things come to an end, and Rio comes for Nikki in the night. In her grief, Agatha takes the Witches' Road song and weaponizes it to take power from all the witches over centuries. We go back to the present, and you'll never guess who cackled at Billy. It was Agatha as a ghost. Agatha and Billy break down everything that went into their adventures, and despite disagreeing on murdering witches, they team up to find Tommy, and that has been your Midnight Manifest for Agatha.
You guys,
All Along
I need
finale.
a round of applause for fucking Jomi and Adeniran. Jomi
Watch the throne, Charles.
Like, wow, like that was fucking fantastic, bro.
It's great, and I only got 15 minutes to do it because nobody knew who was going to do the manifest.
That's fantastic, brother. Okay, 2 episodes, Agatha All Along. Boys. So
Yeah.
this show has been one that has consistently surprised me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Consistently surprised me. Agatha All Along. I don't think that I didn't know what to expect going into the show. I didn't know where the show would take the characters. I didn't know what the end goal of Agatha All Along was going to be. It ended in a quality way. These were 2 good shows, 2 good episodes of television, in my opinion. Did it end in a satisfying and fulfilling way?
I think for me, it absolutely did. I think it is kind of weird because episode 9 is kind of an epilogue, right? I'm watching episode 8, I'm like, this kind of feels like the finale episode. What other 30, 40-minute stuff could they show me that's going to add on to this? But I do think it rounded the entire show up and put it in a nice little bow and also gave us stuff for the future. I think I'm very, very pleased with where this show ends and how it sets up Billy and Agatha going forward. I was really into it.
Steve.
Less high on the ending itself. I was thoroughly impressed by pretty much most of this finale. Like, I think these were both quality ways to round out this season. Frankly, episode 8 acts as a very good epilogue and post-text to the story that we actually have, which I was actually kind of impressed with by the fact that the way that episode 7 wraps up is effectively everything that we need, and then a post-text on Agatha missing her son, and then everything that could be set forward. On paper, I really like. I just think at like the equivalent of the 1 yard line, it does something that that to me, I don't personally agree with for how the character of Agatha could end this season of television.
Which is the ghost stuff.
Not even the ghost stuff. I'm actually
Okay.
willing to accept that. I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that this episode, the final episode, is scaffolded around her relationship with her son and her fear of facing him in the afterlife after the deal that she made with Rio. And it ends on the idea that she can't face him and refuses to do so. And instead makes me feel like we are ushered along the typical MCU path of setting characters forward at the behest of better character development for the person whose show it is.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
It doesn't make sense.
I found
Whoa.
It doesn't make sense. Because so we talked about this pre-podcast, and we had to say, we were like, hey, we can't burn no
Why did you
podcast.
say that?
So Agatha, I don't know if we watched the episode.
Mint on mint violence.
Agatha spent like 10 minutes murdering people.
Right.
We're just taking their power willy-nilly.
Yeah,
We take it to the road. I got you. Like the entire thing. She is the worst person, like at least with the show concerned, the worst person we ever met. Just
Right.
like really terrible.
Is she the worst lead for an MCU show ever? The worst person as a lead for an MCU show?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Loki was pretty bad, but at the same time, that wasn't the same Loki
Yeah.
from like he hadn't like done all this the stuff.
still killed like thousands upon thousands. in
Sure,
New
yeah,
York.
and in New York, yeah. But like, you know, after going through the like, anyway, Agatha,
Let's punt it.
is legitimately, well, you got to get to the point. Agatha's legitimately
Eventually.
like awful, right? And Billy's like, hey, you know, this is how your son died? She's like, oh, actually, you know what? You're right. I'm not trying to watch that again. She got one good deed in her. One. That was it. That was it. I don't want to go back and see my son. That's not, you're
Right.
like, you want her to turn into like, oh, actually, you want her to get woke real quick. I don't know, man. She was bad for a long time. She's not going to wake up one morning and go, well, actually, I'm ready to face my son, to face all my demons. Like,
Sure.
nah.
I mean, don't mistake a cathartic moment being a character's redemption. I don't think that if she ends up facing her son in the afterlife, that means that she's now a good person.
Okay.
I think it's the actual growth and like change that is worthy of a character who goes through all of these things in this show.
Yeah.
If the show is named after her, I feel like I want to have some sort of turning of a page with this character rather than sacrificing herself just for Billy, which ultimately is a good thing, which is like a nice thing for somebody to do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the personal stakes that is reinforced by this final episode.
What's the name of the show?
Agatha All Along.
What does that mean to you?
I feel like it's going to be the thing that actually anchors us in the emotional payoff.
No,
that
what
comes...
is the show? What does the name of the show mean? Because I thought about this.
I thought about it too.
We learn throughout the show,
Mhm.
we wait for Agatha's redemption.
Mm.
Right? Agatha morphs into sort of the protagonist of the show. and
Right.
Billy takes on the role of the antagonist. So throughout the show, he does.
Yeah.
Like throughout the show, we wait for her to round into something other than kind of the bad guy of the show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Agatha all along.
I also,
It's the entire. She gets to the best possible place
Mm-hmm.
the character can get to.
Yeah.
If we're gonna take that character seriously,
Sure.
because the stakes of this show end up being real.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Those people that we started our adventure with, they're dead,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Dead. Like,
They're
actually,
gone.
except for Jen.
Right.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
By the way,
a
making
a
a-
horror show, Black Lady Survives.
that's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
on
yeah.
Right.
A couple notes. Making a memorial out of a pentagram in a basement, kind of crazy.
Kind of
Yeah,
nuts.
a little bit,
Hold on.
but like we end up getting to a spot to where like it's like, hey man, if we don't kind of get those people back like that, the show has stakes.
Sure.
And all the things that she does, they kind of matter because of that.
Yeah.
What you get in the end is whether or not she can be something more in Billy's life.
Sure.
Mhm.
Maybe there'll be some sort of, I don't know, she'll get some sort of redemption in helping him round out his life because everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
she's left them powerless and dead.
I think it's just probably the show throwing me for a loop because every other witch in this coven has found some form of personal redemption in this story before ultimately dying and being ushered away by death and finding out what's on the other side.
Yeah.
Agatha doesn't do that. And granted, that is the thing that
Not the
makes
end
her
of her story.
sure.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that accepting and facing the consequences of what's on the other side, the like really tough deal that a parent is forced to make with death to be like, okay, you can know your son, but you won't know for how long, and it's going to be taken from you. Like a genuinely powerful and like I loved the beginning of this final episode.
Oh, the final episode was fantastic.
It was, and and it really.
And by the way, the final episode kind of, it does something that good shows do. Remember Spider-Man 2?
Mhm.
Spider-Man 2 completely devillainized Dr. Octopus.
Right.
It was like, I get you, Dr. Octopus.
Got a whole thing going on.
Yeah, they got the whole thing,
Sure.
the wife and the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's tough.
It was almost like Mr. Freeze when his wife was in the cold thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
God damn,
Yeah.
like you can kind of get it. So when you're watching Agatha, she's doing terrible things.
Mhm.
She is.
She is.
At the same time, there is a part of it that her life
Mm-hmm.
and how she lives it and what she's gone through is almost kind of like you get her lust for survival. When she's
Exactly.
explaining it to her son,
Yeah.
she's explaining it not like we have to dominate and have power. She doesn't seem like Palpatine. She seems more like Anakin,
Sure.
someone who
their trauma is leading them to do really terrible things.
Right. And I see that like from the beginning, from when she is making up the song with the road, which is an incredible callback, and like seeing how those lyrics change over the years and centuries. I thought all of those things were brilliant. And the deal that she makes with Rio, ultimately to be with her son for as long as she can, is like a deal to defer her own grief. And then after he dies, she takes that time over centuries to lean into the idea that she will just lust for power and everlasting life to avoid seeing him again, because she couldn't face the idea of, you know, those consequences. And the idea to come to the end of this, having actually sacrificed something and given somebody else another chance for that, ultimately not leaning in and learning from that, and then thinking that it can't be as all bad as giving somebody else that chance, it felt like a bit of a counterbalance to me. It didn't. And just because she's done bad things doesn't mean that she's ultimately redeemed by doing two good things.
No, I mean, it's not
Obviously
about
not,
that, but it's one step at a time.
I get
right?
it, sure.
Like that's like a real leap for her to be like, you know, actually, I got to go back with my son. I've prayed. I found
but
Jesus.
if she did that, would that have not made sense? Do you think that were you felt wanting for Agatha's development at the end of this?
Not really. I mean, I can see why some people might have been.
I definitely felt
like,
that. I definitely felt
hold on. Like, listen, I said this earlier. I didn't know that this was the last episode of the show.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you, like that. Every time I say I'll be honest with you, I'm going to donate $5 to charity.
Oh boy.
I was about to say it just.
I know.
I think the show leaving off where it did, I wasn't really interested in what was going to happen to Agatha as much as I was interested in what was about to happen to Billy.
But
Yeah.
and that kind of maddens me a little bit.
Why?
Because it's not his, like, I get it. Like, his development he came the farthest out of anybody that came out of this show. But I really think that the show could have done a lot more servicing of its titular character. Even a little bit more. Be it episode by episode or at the very end, to actually buy into this, because Catherine Hahn's got it in the bag for this performance. The story and the show is operating on a much smarter and more intellectually honest level than those final 10 minutes for me.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think what I thought was interesting, and maybe like I read it a different way, is that like she invented the road. The road did not exist, right? And so like when you talk about Agatha All Along, the concept of the road
has been her all along.
Was Agatha All Along, right? It's not until Billy showed up. It was like, oh no.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Right. So she has to like fake her way and do the whole thing. I don't know how much I needed from Agatha after the sacrifice from Billy.
Sure.
Right? Like that's, I don't say the end of her story because she's obviously going to continue. But in terms of watching her like continue to move on, like, yeah. You know what I mean?
But it's so interesting because
she learned, she learned a lesson and then did something selfless. Right?
Yes.
Right? And we learned why that was so hard for her to do in the last episode.
Yes.
Yeah. And that kind of round season. Have I ever talked to you guys, this is going to be like a weird kind of tangent, but it's kind of about grief and why grief is so powerful in these shows. Have I ever talked to you guys about cloning Bozeman?
I think you've mentioned it.
I think you mentioned it. You only said that I want to clone Bozeman. But...
Okay. So, like, I get Bozeman 2020, right? We get Bozeman 2020. And after a while, like, the dog is, like, it's not a dog anymore. It's a creature that lives with you that you completely understand, that completely understands you, that says good morning, that says good night, that you know when it has to use the bathroom, you know when it's sad, you know when it needs a toy. And then like you look at the dog and every couple of times you look at the dog, if you really love your dog, you go, how much more time do I have? Do I have 3 years? Do I have 4 years? Do I have, like, how much more time do I have?
And you don't know.
And you don't know.
Right.
Now, that's not really a thought that you have with people as much because people, they live a lot longer. And it's you associate the death of a person with tragedy, and you associate the death of a pet with like almost inconvenience. Like it's
Sure.
going to be a shitty couple of months or whatever,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like when I was watching the show and I was watching her with her son, and I don't mean to equate a child with the dog.
No, yeah.
I was thinking to myself, that same gut-wrenching feeling of, oh man, I don't have that much longer with this person.
Mhm.
And like what that means, I was very connected to it. I was like,
That's
and the thing becomes at the end, like cloning the dog would be expensive. You could do it, but how does that then entangle or disentangle you with a human emotion and a human feeling, which is what grief is?
exactly.
Grief and loss is a part of that. And so much of the stories that we love are about people's either inability to face what they've done in the name of grief or inability to face what grief actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She cannot face her son.
Right.
Not because she's not ready to take accountability. She can't face her son because she's too sad. She's too sad about the life that the son had to live so that she could avoid her grief,
Mhm.
so that she could avoid going through what she had to go through in order to give him that little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a whole different journey. Agatha hasn't even started that journey yet. Everything that she's done since we've seen her is a journey of self-preservation and selfishness. That journey with her son is about self-discovery. There's going to have to be something else that she realizes about herself, maybe even in death, that allows her to like confront such a profound grief and a profound loss that a lot of people don't want to, that I'm thinking about spending $50,000 to $70,000
Right.
so that I can at least mitigate a little bit by having another dog that was just like those.
Exactly. And I think that I can agree with that. I
Mhm.
can see that is a more personal journey, and the beginning of that journey starts with that sacrifice for Billy.
It started with her admitting that she couldn't face him.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the journey. The beginning of that journey starts with her admitting that's the thing. She can't be banished to hell. She must stay on the earthly plane, not to complete some type, but to avoid.
I actually love that because like we ultimately know that ghosts stay on this plane because they have unfinished business on Earth, but instead she does it out of avoidance.
Yeah.
Like I felt that was genius. And another great genius thing that the show did was the idea that she didn't know how long she had with her son.
Right.
She wasn't told by Rio.
But she knew it wasn't long.
It wasn't long, but that could have been anything.
Mm.
She did at that point. Rio didn't even need to show up.
Yeah, it could have been 6 months.
It could have been 6 months. Could have been 6 years. Could have been 60 years.
Mm.
It never would have been enough time.
Well, let's go back to the penultimate.
Okay.
Sure.
Because the penultimate had me on some Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze shit. I did not see that coming.
Really?
What did you not see coming?
Him having created the road.
Just got to listen to House of Art, man. They've been locked in.
Yeah, no, there
They've been locked
were
in.
breadcrumbs everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need you niggas.
We're not
judgment.
okay.
Nah.
This
You know
is
what
this
I'm
isn't
saying?
us calling
You know
you
what I'm saying?
dumb
I don't
because
need-
you didn't see it.
I don't need y'all judgment, man. Like, okay, so Joe and Mallory are smarter than me. So like,
we didn't say that.
Nobody
That's
said
not
that.
us saying you're.
so what?
no,
Nobody
So
said that. That's not what we
Mallory
said.
and
That's
Joe
not
are
what we
smarter
said.
than me.
That is
So
not
what?
what we
Run the
said.
tape. Did we say
I
that?
stole your California. I stole your California connection. So what?
Oprah calls this
What movie is that
projecting.
from?
That's
Couldn't tell you.
Hold on, wait. I need everybody.
Couldn't tell you.
Hey, I stole your California. Don't look it up.
I know, but I'm just.
I couldn't tell you.
I stole your California connection.
Is this an offensive
So what?
accent
Goodbye.
that you're doing right now?
No, that's how he says it.
Okay.
Goodbye. What
Can't-
movie is that from?
I
can't
couldn't
say-
tell you.
I
Off
can't
the top of my
Does
head, I couldn't
anybody
tell you.
know?
The French Connection.
Wrong.
No.
Does anyone know? Does anyone in the room know? What where am I? Oh,
It sounds
does
like
anyone in the-
Miami.
does anyone? Hi, you're almost close. Does anyone?
Is this
in-
Scarface?
Scarface?
No, it's not
No, it's
Scarface.
okay. Yeah, I
Does,
don't-
does anyone in the
It's not Scarface,
in the
yeah, I
audience know right now? Yes, George. I stole your California connection.
He's talking to a character named George.
So what?
Miami Vice? I don't know.
I'm gonna start doing this every
If
now
we
and
don't
again.
know,
might
we're
as
not
well.
you saying it again.
And
is
I-
it's
gonna
like,
help.
tell you-
I'm
I
guessing,
tell
I
you
don't know.
why I'll start doing it every now and again.
Okay.
Because people were fucking appalled by Chi-Chi the Door.
Bro, that wasn't. But he didn't say that in English though.
But it's right there in the subtitles.
I don't.
It's
Then
right
you
there
say
in
it
the
in-
subtitles. Chi-Chi. No. I get like
That's not.
That's not what he said to the
That's
movie.
not what he
though.
said.
What I stole your California connection.
What movie is this from,
So
Van?
what? Nah, I'm not doing this. Stop! Don't heavy sigh, Aleya.
What movies? You
Hold
got
on, wait a second. I think it's fair that us being on movie TV podcasts that we should know lines from movies.
But like
that
every
people
single
like.
one.
brother, man.
If you
asked-
know right now, shout out to everybody.
I'm
I looked
in the
it up.
Facebook.
I know what it's from now. It's from Blow,
Yeah.
2001.
Right.
I ain't never seen. All right,
Y'all never seen
bro.
Blow before?
No.
Have not
You've
seen
never
Blow.
seen Blow?
No.
Who in this room has seen Blow before?
Clearly nobody else. 'cause
None
they
of
don't
y'all
know-
have seen Blow.
No.
No.
What? Yeah. What the fuck is happening, man? Yeah, so y'all just don't watch movies that are awesome.
We might.
When
have
I
missed it.
tell you this is the first time I've ever heard of that movie.
I stole your California connection.
Oh, but no,
So
but that is that scene when Johnny Depp looks at Penelope Cruz and they're just like, both of us are the hottest people on planet Earth.
I ain't never even heard of that movie before.
Okay. Mallory and Joe smarter than me. I didn't see it.
We are not
There's-
calling you
not
dumb by
calling you
saying.
dumb.
Okay.
Oh, that's not what you said. Oh, you gotta be locked in.
The
with
breadcrumbs were there, and that's when again they mentioned it and I started like paying attention.
Yeah.
Billy's always the person who finds the clues,
Mhm.
right? Like he's always the person who's like kind of like bringing them down the road.
Mhm.
And so it was kind of like, huh. And then you go back and like obviously I didn't rewatch it, but I'm thinking back in my head, and I'm like, oh, like Catherine Hahn is like making it up
Yeah.
as you go. You think
The
it's
subway
her.
tunnels when they alluded to the underground transit system.
Yeah.
That's where the road was like taking place, is in the underground tunnels.
Right? So it's really like you think like Catherine Hahn's like you think she's like using her like yeah, I've been to the road, all of that. She literally is like making it up as she goes, not as like gravitas. Literally like, holy crap, I just made this up.
Yeah.
And now I have to like fan my way through it.
Mm.
You know, it recontextualizes the whole thing in a way that I think is amazing.
The appearance of Wiccan. He was Wiccaned out.
Oh man,
He was in Wiccan costume.
And that was so cool.
This is
And
one that I wanted
it was-
to know what Charles thought because the
Damn.
show for a second almost seemed like it was about to devolve
CGI.
into
CGI battle.
Marvel CGI superhero bullshit.
You're right.
It did not. It caught
Did
itself.
not.
didn't.
And I
Didn't.
love the idea that when he gets thrown into the greenhouse, you just like see flashing lights and what would have been a fight for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds.
Gotta
And they're
save
like,
that money.
and even the show's like, this is stupid. We
don't
can't
have-
fight death.
No, I don't think they had the budget. If we're being completely honest,
That's fine.
but it still worked out. I think, and like the funniest part of these last few episodes, you speak of the Wiccan costume when it's all over, and he like flies down and he's like, oh, gets in his Subaru
That's so
and
funny.
drives
to me.
over full costume.
He flew into the fight scene and then he walked out and drove
Oh
away. out
my
of town.
God.
Well, maybe he didn't have. She had
He was
drained
out of
some
juice?
She had
Well,
drained some of his
well, no,
power.
you got to take the car home. You can't leave the
Yeah,
car.
yeah, you can't
then you
leave
have
the
to
car.
fly back and then drive it home. You know what
I
I'm
do
saying?
it's
wonder
just-
about.
It's just so funny to think of this like a superhero hopping in,
Yeah.
hopping in a
So-
Subaru.
So, does Superman get on a plane?
I think
not.
Clark Kent could.
Yeah.
Superman probably just don't need.
Well, no. Well, what I'm saying is because like in Lois and in Superman and Lois,
Mm.
they don't take a plane. Like they go on different vacations, and he carries her and they fly.
What
Yeah.
about the luggage?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would think that he's Superman. He could probably fly and carry her in a couple of bags at the
But
same
you never
time.
see them carry the bags.
I
though.
would imagine it
carry
maybe
on.
like a Santa sleigh situation where like he pulls a vehicle in the air.
That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna work.
Could work.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
what
he
you
could
gonna,
at least
you're not going
carry-
to Europe
he
with
can-
the
he can
car.
carry
It's
something.
physics.
Yeah, you're not going to Europe with the car though. Like,
That's
Like,
fair.
he's gonna carry-
Also, she's got to wear a coat because it's crazy cold up in the sky.
yeah.
he probably does kind of something, and then
But does she have goggles on too because of the wind?
Gotta.
she would have to.
Yeah, yeah,
She
definitely.
But what I'm saying is, Superman is kind of like the Billy situation. There's probably times where Superman just goes, I just want to take regular transportation now. I don't feel like I don't
Yeah.
want to fly. It's too much.
Yeah.
Or maybe I want to see how people are fucking like living.
I feel like that would annoy him like immediately
What?
because it's just so slow.
No, but
by
you gotta like.
comparison.
But then you're like, I'm a regular person. Nobody knows I'm Superman because I'm taking a plane. If I was Superman, I want to be taking a plane. You gotta,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? You gotta.
But like, what does the third hour on a L.A. New York flight feel like for Clark Kent? He's like, what the
excruciating.
fuck, bruh? Like he's like,
Excruciating.
he's pissed off. He's watching Friends. He's like, I could have been there
Right.
by now. This doesn't
The
make
in-flight is
ve-
bad. He didn't
very-
think to
Are
pre-download
you watching
Netflix.
Friends on a plane?
no, but that's what everybody else is watching.
Really?
This is how they indoctrinate people. Everybody else was watching Friends. You know what I'm doing on the
What are you
plane?
watching on the plane?
I'm scrolling past the fact that higher learning is on the plane and hoping that the person sitting next to me notices that it's me
Okay.
on the thing.
That's the most conceited shit ever.
Now you got to flex a little bit.
That's
My
the-
favorite. I do love when people get on the Delta flight and they're like, "Hey, hey, we out here higher learning,
Yeah.
all their podcasts." I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
I'll watch
man,
my
y'all
own
out
shit
there.
and somebody
Yeah.
will be like, is that you? I'll be like, there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, because they got your
Oh,
picture
I
on it.
guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
They got your picture on it.
you caught me.
It's got, yeah, it's me. It's me.
Yeah.
You signing autographs?
So look, back to what we were talking about. Okay, so the Wiccan reveal, Wiccan in full costume. This is not the first time? Which Young Avengers have we seen in full costume by this
In
point?
full
Most of them, right?
costume. I mean,
seen Kate
Hawkeye.
Bishop.
Hawkeye,
We've
which
seen
is
Miss
coming back.
Marvel.
Miss Marvel, full costume.
Does Ironheart?
Stature?
count? Stature, yeah.
Stature, full costume.
Ironheart. I
No
would
Patriot
imagine.
yet.
No Patriot.
No Patriot yet. So most of the Young Avengers that we would think would be in
they're
the
out
Young
there.
Avengers, we've seen them in full costume at this point.
They're definitely around. Yeah.
Yeah. If they ever get around to making that
Movie.
We will see.
television show, whatever.
Yes,
Whatever-
definitely.
whatever we got.
By the way, just to let you know, if they do Young Avengers as a television show, it will suck.
Whoa,
It
hold
needs
on.
to be a movie.
Hey, Marv, if y'all listening, I got my pitch ready. Just hit my line. We could talk. I got 8 episodes for you right off the top.
Only 8? It
I
can't
got
be
you.
just 8.
Needs a movie.
That
Needs a
cannot
movie.
It needs a
be
movie. Ain't nobody watching no Young Avengers movie.
Okay.
I will.
I mean, you're gonna watch a Thunderbolts movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Rio, what did you figure at the end of it? Rio as Death.
Great.
What's her function in this show?
At
the end.
At the end, actually, I think that was more so reinforced again by the final episode because the episode 7 like reneging on Agatha and Rio's deal that they had, where they're like, you need to convince Billy to come to me because that has to be a choice, and I can't just take him, like because he's upsetting the balance of things. There have been a lot of like fictional portrayal, like personified portrayals of death. Like I think of Sandman, I think of a couple of others, and Rio comes as like both as a comfort to people when she takes them, and as like a weighted scale of something that can like is supposed to be the equalizer in the universe. She's aware of the responsibility that like death and this cosmic cycle is supposed to be. I got that from her performance. It was really, really well done when she's trying to make Agatha understand that like you can't wiggle out of just making Billy your linchpin for redemption and acting like he's the thing that can save you after all is said and done. That comes from you. And the idea that in the finale we don't really see much of her after that, but when we have that fight and when she makes that sacrifice and they kiss, which was like kind of incredible, everything is like balanced and right with her, and then she's just away. I love that. It takes a lot to do that. Also, by the way, the effect of that skull on her face, awesome. I love that. I'll love that every time.
Yeah, well, she needed a body, right? So her
Yes.
whole thing was like, look, one of y'all got to pick up the phone and come through, because what's not going to happen is I got to leave both of y'all on Earth. That's not how it gets down. So ultimately, when Agatha makes her sacrifice, she's like, bet, that's cool. Hey, thank you guys for coming all out. I'm going to go back to wherever the hell she came from. I'm just chilling. So I think the show did a pretty solid job of like making us understand that, because it could have been like, why she was really mad about Billy inhabiting a new body, right? At the end of, or the beginning of episode 8. She was like, he perverted the laws of nature.
Yeah.
He can't do that. He got to come with me. And even though Agatha was like, hey, that sounds good to me, when Billy like goes to her head, is like, yo, is this what happened to your son? It's like, you understand, like, okay, she only needs one of these guys to come through. Agatha made the choice that she made, and Rio is no longer needed for the story.
I also like how the idea that she doesn't treat any other character other than Agatha with that level of partiality.
Oh, that's her
Especially-
ex. That's her ex.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like
history.
she said it herself, like nobody's gotten more special treatment than you.
Yeah.
Because she made that deal with her son. She gave him that time. She's allowing all of these things on her watch. And she doesn't even really talk to most of those other characters after they die. They're just like, it's time.
You ever treat an ex too nice?
What?
You ever treat an ex too nice?
I mean,
No comment.
I mean, why would you treat him mean?
That's true, but like she was Rio doing a lot for Agatha. You know what I'm saying? She could have been like, "Hey, nah, it's not how I get down." She was like,
"You have bad breakups."
Not really. You know what I'm saying?
You don't treat an ex bad. That's how
I'm not saying you should treat her bad, but I'm saying like you ever gone above and beyond for somebody?
It's tough to call.
I've already peeped it. I peeped it.
What are you talking about?
What you said was a tell. You ever treated an ex too nice? An ex is a person.
Brother man.
It's a person that you used to share stuff with.
Brother man.
I see what Jomi does.
In the context of the show,
right?
Rio says herself, I'm doing a lot for you.
Let me tell you something. Look, I never forget one of my friends told me this one time. I looked at him differently. He said, I was like, yeah, I transferred back to my old school or to a new school where my ex-girlfriend went.
This is college?
This is college. Yeah. And he goes, hey man, she's going to be up there. You go and see her. And he was like, shit, you might catch her on a bad day, looking bad, and might feel good about yourself. And I was thinking, why would I want to catch her on a bad day? Why would I want to see her looking bad? What are you talking to me right now? You're very toxic. You're very toxic. And that's how you are.
It's not even on.
You treat an ex too nice. So how do you treat them? Do you block exes?
I don't block anybody.
Do you mute them?
I don't mute any. Well, I do mute people on Twitter.
Do you mute exes?
Nah.
Do you mute exes? Do you go out of your way not to see exes? Do you appreciate that the time you had with someone?
Of course.
Or
and you don't know how long it's going to be.
Wait. Here's the deal.
Sweet, yeah.
Either there's two ways you can look at people that you're in a relationship with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can either appreciate the time that you had with them,
of course,
or you can look at that as time wasted. Which one do you look at?
Not as time wasted. Everything's a lesson.
So what's too nice to treat an ex?
Probably like letting them not, die for thousands of years and like being like, hey man, we're gonna let you stay alive and we're not gonna kill you. Like I've given you so much leash right now. At this point, I got it. It's one or the other.
Let's say you worked at Best Buy. Would you let an ex use your employee discount?
You don't speak, and you can't possibly speak from personal experience.
Would you let an ex use your employee discount?
Yeah, probably.
Let's say you worked at a pizza restaurant.
Okay.
An ex comes there. You're making the pizza.
Is it Pizza Hut, Domino's,
No.
Little Caesars? Because this Little Caesars, brother, is $5.
No, it's $5 because
$5 pizza. $5 pizza.
Come on. I'm talking about if you worked at a pizza restaurant. Your ex comes in. She's with her new nigga. You see the ex come in there.
Of all the pizza joints in all the world.
She
had to walk into mine.
So here's the deal. She with a new nigga, right?
Yeah.
You making pizza. This is not a good situation.
It's not great. Like, $17.5 an hour.
Why are you saying hi to me behind the counter?
The new nigga's coming in.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, this nigga about to make my fucking pizza.
Oh, he knows about me. He knows all about me.
He knows about you.
Okay.
He knows about you.
So then this is a setup, really.
Yeah, it really is.
It's definitely a setup.
The question is, do you make the best possible pizza you can make, number one, and do you give them a discount on the pizza, or do you play it bitter, fuck up their mozzarella, and maybe charge this nigga a little extra for napkins and shit like that. Maybe charge him a little extra for ranch.
Charge for napkins is crazy.
Like,
you always got to charge for ranch.
You don't, but you don't. You could give him a ranch free.
Brother. I was at David Buster's the other day, man.
Nickel and dime you
for some barbecue sauce, bro. 60 cents for barbecue sauce. It's not crazy.
Just the packet?
No, for like the little thing,
the
little
cup.
cup. Yeah. It's not the crazy, but it's still like
get out of
here.
Trump
voter.
It's not the crazy, but still.
So
Trump voter's crazy, but all right.
But what? Like, how do you play it? Do you make the best pizza you can for this person that you shared all of this with, or do you fuck their pizza up a little?
You got to show out. You got to show up and show out.
That's what I would do.
You got to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You got to throw them.
Yeah.
Hey man, extra. Hey, I know y'all got you know what I'm saying. I know y'all wanted the 2 cheese and 2 pepperoni, but I threw in a little sausage for you.
And you know what I would say after that? I'd be like, girl, just to let you know, I gave y'all some extra sausage, which is what you used to get before you started.
All right, see, now I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Right.
We go that far here. Hey, man.
Locking it down.
Listen, here's the extra ranch on the house. You know what I'm saying?
You know what death in the show represents to me?
What?
Something that Agatha can't avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You hit on it. So all of that other stuff that we're talking about, right? The entire show is about escaping.
Yes.
It's about escaping stuff. Escaping. Trials to get out of this. Trials to get out of that. Death looks at Agatha. Rio looks at Agatha and says, you will eventually die.
Yeah.
And Agatha says, not for a long time. And this is the way I want it to happen when it happens.
Yeah.
Agatha, who has been doing everything that she could to survive. Everything is survival. Just survival. None of us will survive. That's one of the things you have to accept about life. Nobody survives. You don't survive. And when you accept that, it kind of dictates a little bit in the way that you live your life.
Yes.
Right? Agatha could probably have been a different person with a completely different set of circumstances, like moving on before this.
Yeah.
She tried to get her way out of death in so many different ways. She actually tried to fuck her way out of death. Tried to sleep her way out of death with death.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
They found each other.
But the bond that she has with death is one of the reasons why she's able to kind of manipulate and game the system.
That's the special.
And in the end,
circumstances.
I mean, you're saying that she got with her just because of her job,
probably. At the end, it happens.
I wouldn't put it past Agatha.
Yeah, people
Right.
used to do that to me at Best Buy. But like,
We know.
But it's like, so what I'm saying is that
death and Best Buy. Same
in that
thing.
situation, what Agatha really learns to me at the end of the show is she doesn't learn how to face her grief, but she does learn to accept the fact that she can't exist forever. That the one thing that she wanted was to continue to draw power and continue to draw all of this stuff so she could live as long as possible. That's what she has to give up.
Yeah.
She has to give that up. She has to put something ahead of her primal need to survive at all times.
Yeah, and there's
And
comic.
to have power.
Yeah, and there's comic pretense for her becoming a ghost. She's like what's her name? Wanda's like mentor once in like a run of the comics where she's just like presiding over her and helping her like that. And so like, yeah, I think we're gonna see Agatha ghostly with Billy for a while. You know, it's pretty cool. She's got the white hair now and whatnot.
The idea of Billy being a stand user is pretty cool. Like having just like a ghost team up.
Could be fun.
And if she's got magic powers that can like damage people, that's a double.
Were the other characters in this show done justice?
I would say that Patty LuPone was, Lilia was. I would argue that Jen was. I don't
Definitely not.
I don't know about Alice.
I don't think Alice was.
No.
I don't think Alice
kinda
was.
done dirty.
They try at the end at the like beginning of episode 8. He's like, hey, you gotta go.
And then she's like, but I have to have him. She's like,
You protected
Sorry.
him. You're a protection witch. You protected. Kind of like, all right, bro. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, it's kind of like you just
They
met
kinda
the mark.
ushered her out.
You got a C plus, man. You got the 70, bro. You get up out of here. You know, that's kind of what it felt
70
like.
is a C plus.
No,
That's a C.
that's a C. It's a
What's
C
a-
minus actually.
Oh yeah.
It's just a C.
No,
No, it's a C
70
minus.
is C minus.
I'm saying it's you just.
Yeah,
got
I
to
mean,
C.
it's like a 2.0. Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough.
2.0.
You gotta do a little bit better. You can't bring that shit home to me.
Oh, it's C.
You
Oh
can't-
my
you can't
gosh,
come home with
bro.
C's. Listen,
That's
if
not
you
how I
okay,
would
if it's
raise
like
that.
if you only get one C,
Nah,
No, you can get a C, but like
you
if
get-
you get a C, I need a solid C. Nigga. That's like a
a C,
69.
you need a C plus.
You would have hated my report cards, bro. Oh my goodness,
just
Really?
scraping by, huh?
man, it was bad. Well, math was the one because I
You strike
hated
me as a guy
math.
that thrived in college grade wise and then struggled in high school.
No, well, kind of because high school wasn't like too easy.
Sure.
That's not. It was just like not interesting. I was not. Why was I
That's-
studying
I wouldn't-
for?
I
That was
wouldn't-
me too.
I wouldn't think this coming from you.
Yeah,
your background.
yeah. So you would imagine when I came home, I got 3 C's.
They're like,
On that 5-week report card.
Mm-mm.
you want to know
not
something of
good.
mine?
It wasn't that. It wasn't that serious.
That's a wild impression.
It was not that serious. But it's probably like, all right, bro. What you doing, my boy?
We're not going to Pizza Hut. like
Agatha
that.
is over, guys. It's fucking done. The show is over. There's no more Agatha.
Wait, hold on. You've got a nitpick about Agatha.
What I thought.
When Jen comes out the ground, right?
Oh,
and what
right,
what
yeah.
does Jen do?
I kind of wanted us to retire the Iron Man flying pose
Mm-hmm.
where it's like it looks like they're propelled by the things on their hands and then one foot. I don't know why. It just got to me. It's like it's a constant thing for me, and it just feels weird.
I don't understand.
Nobody.
When she gets out of the thing and she flies away, and she does like this, like that.
as
remember
opposed
that?
as
As a
opposed to
pose,
what?
as a flying
Steve?
pose, I just
As opposed to
didn't-
what?
I don't really like that.
Okay, what are they supposed to do, Steve?
I don't know. Just
How
like
would you like them to fly?
I don't know, like fly it a little like that. I don't know.
Like super.
Fist out.
No. You tell no. You tell me how you want people to fly.
Tell me what, how do you want
I
to
don't
fly?
fucking like when people. Like,
It is the knittest of picks, but
it's Steve. Listen, the nitpick is fine. That's okay. We're here. We're doing a podcast.
sure.
We can nitpick. Show us how you want people to fly. I believe Steve can fly. It's not a good reference.
that's
Like it's like how do you want people to fly? So that type of flying
Sure.
is bad because you look like you were actually tooting it up.
because it's like
Yeah,
it looks
that-
like they're farting
Like
out of the
that type of okay. How do you want them to fly? Show me what flying looks like to you.
You gotta do it.
You gotta do it,
How do you want him to fly?
I think probably just like that.
brother.
Well, wait a minute, Steve.
Going off the
can you-
diving board.
Can you commit?
Yeah.
Can I just get? I just need.
What if they just flew upside down? I would love it if they flew upside down.
That's
You're not being
gonna work.
serious.
You're
It's
gonna
not
have
gonna
all
work.
the blood-
It's not
They
gonna
fly
work.
feet first.
Okay, all the blood's gonna rush.
Jesus
to your head.
Christ.
Okay, and that's not gonna work for you cognitively. It's gonna be tough. All right. What I'm asking you right now.
I'm just saying we could be a little bit more
Who,
inventive.
who do you like their flying style?
Mm.
Give me somebody that flies and you're like, oh, my fly nigga look fly when he flying.
I like Invincible with the 2 fists out.
Okay.
I remember. Oh, Green Lantern. Green Lantern's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. He's led by the ring.
led by the
power-
ring. It's like it looks like something's pulling him rather than pushing out.
Okay.
You know,
Like he's being, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think,
like when Thor flies, he's like swinging out like that.
So if you don't have a hammer or a ring,
Well, you know what I mean. But like, I want the illusion of propulsion to just
not
be
not
going
like
out.
not like you're coming back
Yeah.
and being pushed. You want to fly the other way.
Mhm.
I got it. Give me a beat.
Okay. Oh, me?
yeah, he's Steve's
Okay,
beats.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all season long, we've been talking about the road.
The road,
We've been on the road, you know what I'm saying? On the Witch's Road.
Witch's Road.
With the Midnight Boys, we got our own road. You feel me? We do our own thing.
How
Yo.
long is this preamble? I thought
Nigga,
he was going to
keep
spit.
beating.
That's it.
Sold it.
You just
Sold
talking over
it.
the beat.
What happened to you? Got to do
thought
the
you were gonna
preamble.
spit
You
for something.
sold the whole thing.
Felt like Justin Timberlake.
No,
though.
I had a whole thing.
He had a whole
But
thing,
Steve
and you
ruined it.
sold it.
See, a lot of people say,
Right.
I'll be honest. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Then what are you doing?
A lot of people say, hey, why does Steve always why are they fucking picking on Steve?
It's 'cause stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You talk over the beat. I had a whole Midnight Boys road thing that I was going to do.
No.
And why are you doing this? You've heard it. Do you think that Eminem really couldn't hear his snare?
No,
He
of
could
course
hear
he
the
couldn't. He
snare.
just wanted to yell for the
He
snare.
could hear the snare. Hey,
Turn me up in the
let's-
headphones.
Turn me up in the headphones.
It's already up.
That's part of it. It's up.
Hold on. Come on, man. Give him a second chance.
No.
Come on. It's Halloween.
Do his people give us a second chance? No. Right to press a license plates.
Right?
If you want to hear the Midnight Boys Road song, Steve ruined it. And Steve's going to live with that. But I can tell you something.
That's
I
on
believe
me.
in
I
this
tried.
guy. He'll
I
be
tried.
better the next time.
I will.
Do you know what the name of the song was?
What was it?
We got some chodes on the road.
Would have been special.
Seekest thou the chodes?
Would have been special.
We got we got some chodes on the road with them hoes on the road.
All right.
That's what the song was going to be. But you didn't want to hear it. Midnight Meter.
I was running out of breath. Got a little winded.
Christ alive.
I was like,
You were like, yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Midnight Meter.
Yeah.
1 to 10. 10 to 12.
Game changer.
Game changers. Okay. 11 to 12 game changers. 1 to 10.
Right.
We're going to start with me.
Mhm.
The people out there are not going to like this.
Uh-oh.
They're not going to like this. I give Agatha All Along a 9 on the
Wow.
Midnight Meter. I think that Agatha All Along was as solid
Yeah.
a television entry from Marvel that we've had. Now, was the ending perfect? No, it's not as good.
Sure.
When I say that, people understand it's not as good as WandaVision. It's not as good as the first season of Loki.
Right.
However, it is comparable to those shows in terms of what it did. It was a,
Oh, man.
it
Yeah.
was a show that didn't set ridiculously high expectations, and it delivered. It was fun.
Yeah.
It raised the stakes in the end.
Yeah.
It debuted a brand new hero. I think that this show is a 9.
It's probably one of the biggest and most like pleasant surprises that Marvel has given us in quite a long time.
Jones Skittle?
I got to go with a 9 as well, man.
Really?
I really, I was not expecting the show to move me the way it did. Like, I think the last 3 episodes did some really, like, took some really incredible swings. I think they hit of all of them.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like Freddie Freeman in the World Series.
Just Bow.
Just hitting them things out the
MVP.
park.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I really think this show, like when we talk about the best seasons of Marvel TV, I'd argue like you could probably have this one in like the top 3. You know, you can definitely make an argument along with like WandaVision, 2 seasons of Loki, and this. I think you can definitely like put it up there with some of those. And so I got to give it a 9. It was that good.
I'm only going to slightly go lower and say it's an 8.
Okay.
I think it's just the ending. Like, probably recency bias. I might need a little bit more time away from it, but like, I'm a little itchy about the MCU machine of it all at the very end of it. But like, man, was I having a great time.
Yeah.
For like 99% of it. Like, it was
It's a lot of
incredible.
fun. What do you think Charles would have given it?
Let's guess what Charles would give it.
6.
Brian.
A strong 5.
Strong 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
give it a strong 5. I think
He wasn't fucking with it from the beginning.
No, but I think he would he warmed to it a little bit.
Right.
More so than others.
So Charles is on vacation, so he didn't have to be here. Do you guys think that Charles has watched the last couple of episodes?
Let's call him right
him,
now.
find out.
Call him right now. See if he watched it. Because we got to get the midnight meter. If he did.
Hold on. There's a 5% chance he answers the phone.
It's probably. Does he answer the phone?
Yeah.
Often. Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like a guy that would get right back to you.
No.
Oh no, it's not happening.
He's like, I'm
Fourth
on
ring,
vacation.
it's not happening.
Right.
Damn.
Oh, we're gonna let this motherfucker ring out.
At the tone, please
Damn.
record the
Damn.
message. When you finish recording, you
Ducking
may
it
hang
all.
up
He
or
knew.
press
He knew.
1 for more
He knew.
options.
Yo, Chuck, what up? Is the Midnight Boys, Jomi, Steve.
He knows who we are.
What's going on?
Bruh, Isaiah ain't here. He drunk.
Hey!
Aleya. Steve fucked up so bad, bro, when we was doing this song. You gotta see it. We was just wondering what you would have given Agatha on the Midnight Meter and whether or not you watched the last 2 episodes of Agatha.
Or if you planned this vacation just so that you wouldn't have to review it.
all of that stuff.
Mm.
We miss you, dog.
Yeah,
Hit
man.
us back, man. We're not the same without you, G. All right, peace, bye. All right. We have to move on now.
Penguin.
Penguin
El
time.
Penguino.
Hey, the penguin. Oh,
Da
the
penguin.
The penguin. The penguin. All right. No Midnight Manifest for Penguin.
No.
Right.
Stuff happened.
A lot of stuff.
Table setting.
Okay. Some table setting, but also we're starting to see a little bit more. Look, there are those out there in Penguin Land that are saying that the Penguin's losing steam.
Who's in Antarctica watching the penguin right now?
Antarctica?
Yeah, you
Huh?
said Penguin Land. That's where the penguins live.
I don't think that's the only place they live.
It's not the only place
Penguins
they live.
live in many places.
But
Yeah.
like they mainly live in Antarctica.
I know,
got-
but
they
there are
got
other
penguins in
places.
Brazil.
But there are other places that
Do they
penguins
have
live.
penguins in Brazil?
I
Like,
believe so. In South America.
I think
They have,
there's,
like,
there's
yeah.
penguins down there. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So what I'm saying is, when you say shit, and you're saying, "Oh, it's only,
yeah. But like when I'm like, yo, where do penguins live? You're gonna say Antarctica.
yeah,"
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the same time, though, you can't say that that's okay.
I didn't say it was the only place they
where do
live, but
black
like
where do black
penguin
people
live
live? Where do black
everywhere.
Okay, right. So you can't really say,
Everywhere.
right? Because black people live in
Right.
Nigeria. Black people also live South Baton Rouge.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like it's okay. All right.
Penguins are everywhere. Penguins in South
Penguins
Baton
are
Rouge.
everywhere.
Black
But when you
people-
think about where penguins
Actually, matter of
live,
fact, penguins are the black people of nature
that's
Please finish this thought. Please finish this thought.
because we around.
Okay.
because we round.
We around. We've been
All
been
round. All round.
How do you think penguins got to the? All right, bro. Yeah, you're not being serious.
Penguins. I'm saying we
yeah,
can.
you're not being serious.
When you look at it, that's a good animal for us to be.
Not really.
I'm not saying.
The flightless birds.
Yeah, but why do we have to fly? We don't have to do what other people say we have to do. All them other birds want to fly. We want to stay connected to the land. We want to be able to swim. We want to be able to be cool in the ice.
Dads
Actually,
watch over the eggs.
Dads watch over the eggs. We mate for life.
I never see the penguin cheat. I
No,
never see the black
penguins
man
don't
cheat.
cheat.
Penguins- penguins don't cheat.
I don't even see the black man
We
cheat.
made for
That's
life.
right.
Families,
That's
happy
true.
feet, sing and dance.
That's
That
true.
was Robin Williams though.
That's true.
That is kind of true.
And he was doing like a Latino accent. Also in
Yeah.
the movie.
This probably doesn't work. So
I don't know about the show losing steam. I think what has happened is the show is like kind of flipped a little bit. Like we keep talking about how Sophia and what's his name? Sal have like teamed up, right? And so now there's like this driving force, and they're not like they were going head to head in the first 4 episodes. Now they kind of split up and they're kind of doing their own thing. It's not until the end of this episode where we see what's her name? Kristen Milioti's character in the room.
Sophia, yeah.
Sophia in the room with Crowbar with
Right.
Vic and
Mhm.
Oz's mom. And so I think we're gonna get back to the clash that
For
we've
the
had
show
the
off,
first,
or the showdown.
you know, first 4 episodes. But yeah, they've kind of diverted a little bit, and I think that's kind of like made people question. But I think we're gonna get right back on track next week.
I wouldn't say it was wheel spinning, but I think it's just more of like reinforced character stuff that, I mean, we could have spent doing a little bit better things or more productive things for the show. But I like it. It's still a fun time.
Yeah, I think, and especially for Oz too, because I think if you look at it just through that view, maybe
Yeah.
it's a little bit boring. But like for Vic had to kill somebody this week.
Got
Very
30.
big, very big Vic episode.
Very big Vic episode. He's probably like what, the third most important character in the show, and he like
Definitely.
had to lay somebody out because they were asking too many questions. That's big for him. He literally was like quite literally shaking in his boots.
I
Great scene.
great scene. Loved seeing the look on his face before, during, and after.
yeah.
Like that revelation that, again, a fantastic performance from everybody involved here. But like, I love seeing that turn from a character that like actually is like when he's in the shit and there's no going back from something like that. Seeing that portrayed like very well, that was moving to me.
It
I
reminded
really
me
liked
of
it.
it reminded me of that scene in The Wire
So I was saying,
with Bodie and
Yeah.
and Wallace. It's not like the same because they got a connection way back, but he didn't, like, just like Bodie, he didn't want to have to kill that guy,
Yeah.
but he felt no other option and had to make a call.
you know what it reminds me of? I get the Bodie and the Wallace thing, but it reminded me of Michael.
Oh, it's
So it's funny. The show
yeah.
is always compared to The Sopranos, obviously.
Right.
Oz is in The Sopranos, and some of the other characters are too. But Vic is squarely in The Wire.
squarely.
Squarely. And particularly the part of The Wire where we're looking at the younger kids, your Duquans, aka Dookie, your Namans, your Michaels, all of these guys, and how they graduated from being young whippersnappers to some of them being criminals and some of them finding their way into addiction and some of them finding their way out of the streets.
Yeah.
In this particular situation, he was put in a situation much like Michael.
Yeah.
Where there was no way around it. The only way around it was to get deeper in. Michael approached that in 2 different ways. Of course, there was the first time he was dealing with the gentleman who had come back to live with his mother's boyfriend, and he knew that that was going to lead to a road of abuse. And everyone had been trying to figure out how to get Michael closer to him. Cuddy, Bodie, everyone. But Michael got into a situation where there was literally no escape. The only escape was to get deeper into the streets. And same thing happened to Vic.
Yeah.
Vic was up against somebody that he knew wasn't going to take the money, that was threatened by his very appearance there.
Yeah.
And as soon as Squid did that, I knew Squid had to die.
Yeah.
Like there was no way out of it. Squid was going to keep coming back. He was going to keep threatening. He just did not respect Vic. And Vic is in a world now where the ability to mete out violence is just a big part of the currency. And one of the best scenes in the show is when Oz just reads it. Like Oz reads it. He sees him. He knows that he's
shaking up.
Yeah, like he gets it. He sees it. He's been there. It's like, yo, you got away with it, but you did what you had to do. And that to me is one of the more compelling things about the show right now. There is a part of me that believes the show was operating at its highest frequency when it was Oz figuring out how to stay alive around these criminal organizations. Now that he's building an organization that is, I guess, in opposition to those things, I love the show still, but that is a different show.
No, yes.
Right, yeah.
And they're falling into it right now, as there were a lot of great scenes this episode. The scene between Oz's girlfriend and Sophia. There are a lot of great scenes.
I think
a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, it's like the goals and plot of this particular episode don't exactly align with the overall plot of the season, if that makes sense. Like the grassroots building of that organization while those characters are getting deeper and deeper into what they're going through is the thing that while him and Sophia are separated, kind of has to happen.
Yeah.
We're more so here for when they come back together.
Is the stuff with Oz's mom working right now? It worked earlier on, but
It
we've
did.
been getting more of her.
Little
Is
of
it
that goes a
working now?
long way.
Yeah,
I
and I
think it's
And I think we're gonna get the payoffs next week because Sophia's in the room with them, and I think Oz is gonna have to make a choice, and I think it's gonna be a hard one.
So I'd say this about the Penguin. Do you know every now and again, and I wonder if you guys feel this way, every now and again I have to remind myself that I'm watching a show about the Penguin
Really?
because the show is so much better than I'm so into
Yeah.
the actual world
Yeah.
that
makes you forget that this is a Batman story.
haven't-
That it's like,
I haven't even thought about Batman.
right.
Speaking of Batman, Thursday, October 31st. That's today, and that's when the Batman takes
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where it takes place Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
I don't really think about it. I just think it's a story about Oswald Cobblepot, which the Penguin, but the show's did a really good job of not like throwing we talked about like throwing the DC, like, oh, here's this person. You just see Oz as a guy trying to figure his way through the underworld of Gotham.
It's a good balancing act of immersion because it's very easy to get like lost in the shadow of
Yeah.
Batman or a bigger IP mainstay character when we're just following the Penguin along. But Colin Farrell's doing his thing.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Dang, man, acting like crazy. That scene with him and the game bosses,
Mm.
and they're like
Oh.
giving the beers.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
And he is cooking. He's like, yo, y'all want to live like this, man? We gotta fight for what we want. And again, he does his best work when the odds are
When he's
against him.
up
They're
against
like-
the wall. Like,
Bro, they're hanging my people, man. Like, this is not gonna work. We gotta, like, what are we gonna do? It's like, hey, don't worry about them. We got us. Oh, it's all we need right here.
he
Yeah.
challenged them.
yeah.
He was like, they're hanging our people out here, and he was like, all right,
Go do
what you-
something.
do something about it. And then he starts reminding them of how, even though these people have all of this power, these different gang bosses, that the people at the top never really took them seriously in the first place, that they're not that much different than he is.
Exactly.
Mm,
Smart show.
cooking.
Smart show.
Cracked open a beer. It's going nuts with it. Good for him.
Very dark show. Like
The-
dark, like you can't see.
You saw me. I was watching this in the office when you were also there.
Mhm.
The scene with Sophia and Shades from Luke Cage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, whoa, oh hey,
Shades
whoa,
is getting it.
whoa.
Haven't seen
Shades
you.
likes it. Shades is fucked up.
He's
don't
violating
know.
all type of HIPAA violations.
Hey,
right
that's
there, bro.
fine. That's fine. It's like that's what Shades is into.
I mean, I don't want to king shame.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to king shame, but
Yeah.
it's not for me.
Not for us.
Not for me.
Right. Not for you as far as getting like what she's cutting them up.
She
She was getting
yeah.
cut up too.
Mm-mm.
It felt-
Didn't she have stuff on her neck? Oh, those might be old wounds from the Arkham days.
I really don't want to speculate.
Yeah. At this point, they was having a good time.
That's nasty.
He seemed really bummed that it was ending. I was like, brother, you were tied up with your pants down. I don't know how that could be fun for you, but at the end of the day, man, live your
Each
life.
their own.
Each your own.
What is going to happen next?
I talked about it earlier. It's gonna be Vic and the mother and Oz's mom, and Oz is gonna have to make a call because they got him dead to freaking rights, man. Old girl saw him down the river. I get it because she was like, because Sophia was like, look, all your homies, they knew that my dad, or Oz knew that my dad killed him. He set me up for him. Is that your man's for real? And she was like, actually, I thought she was going to like let him live. But she was like, he ain't Crown Point. So Oz is gonna have to I think he's gonna have to make a tough decision between Vic and his mother. And it's
Pay
gonna
attention
be
to something. Pay attention to Oz's reaction when Vic and him and his mother were all together. Mother showed a very specific affinity for Vic. Oz did not react well to that.
Big Mama's boy.
Oz did not react well to that. Oz corrected Vic when Vic
Talking about his brothers.
talking about his brothers, number one. But then also when she says that Vic is a good boy and all of that stuff, pay attention to the look on Oz's face.
That's very good that you clocked.
Like Oz does not really like that.
Yeah.
So, as Vic and Oz get closer, as Vic is tasked with taking care of Oz's mother, as how close is too close for Vic? What, as far as Oz is concerned, to mom specifically, what happens if there's a Sophie's choice there? I mean, obviously we seemingly would know what would happen, but what's the motivations behind the situation? Like, what's that going to be? Because I thought that the scene between Sophia and Oz's girlfriend was very interesting.
Yeah.
Because
I expected that scene to go differently.
Me too.
I thought she
How
was.
did you think it was going to go?
I thought Sophia would kill her.
Oh, I didn't think she'd kill her, but
I
I,
thought
didn't
that
think
was-
she'd give her up.
I
I didn't think
thought-
she'd give him up.
I thought that was going to be Sophia's final communion because there's still a shred of her that was not completely corrupted. There seems to be, for all that Sophia has done, you still could make some sort of argument or justification for how and why she did the things that she did.
But I think that's also the thing that differentiates her, at least in her mind, to her dad. The idea of not compassion, but at least like understanding and to like pick her spots with how vengeful and vindictive she'll be.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that in that scene, she would essentially become her father,
Mm-hmm.
but they stepped away from that ledge. They don't want to do that with her.
Yeah.
They
And you can believe that she doesn't want to do that.
yeah,
she
no,
doesn't wanna
she
be that.
no, she doesn't.
Yes.
As soon as she actually is still so put off by the moniker of the Hangman that she feels the need to explain herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she does explain herself. She explains herself pretty well. She explains herself and she talks. And then after that, there seems to be a bond between those two women, which that kind of came out of nowhere that she would give Oz up.
I
mean, once
actually-
she realized
I
that
actually
Oz
kinda-
was the one that kind of hurt
Yeah, her
those,
girls.
I actually
or,
kinda-
or didn't care about the girls being hurt.
Yeah.
I think it kind of makes a little sense. It like both these women seem pretty trod upon by men in the society that they put them in.
Exactly.
Like they're
Yeah.
like there's an understanding there, and I don't think that that's something that's going to be wasted or batted away. Like there's a
Sisterhood,
camaraderie
man.
there
Yeah,
that
sisterhood.
they understood.
Yeah.
As Joe says, sisters are doing it by themselves.
Mm.
It's very important. Very important saying that I got from Joe. Sisters are doing it by themselves.
That's
Joe knows.
that's the exact wording.
That's the way it goes. All right, real quick before we got out of here. Little Marvel trailer came out. It's been all over, and then it popped up before Agatha. It showed us our scenes from that Spider-Man cartoon freshman year. The Daredevil.
Eyes of Wakanda.
Eyes of Wakanda.
No,
Yeah, it did.
I know, but I was going in my own order.
Oh, okay. Continue.
By all means.
You guys
on.
both jumped in and said Eyes of Wakanda. Y'all on the payroll of Big Cooler?
I'm sorry.
Big Coogler?
Yeah, because I was saying
I thought you said Big Cooler. I was like, I've never gotten a Yeti before in my life.
I was about to say that it was. You know what? You guys do the order since you want to jump in when I'm trying to. You acting like I wasn't going to say Wakanda. Of course
Okay.
I was going to say it. Why did y'all do that? I just noticed something. This is Mint Madness. You guys have been trying to dominate me.
Mid-November really is getting
Mid-November
our
November
heads.
So
is November
mid-November-
is cooking right
This,
Yeah.
now.
this has been a little.
We're real big headed.
we got another one next week where it's just going to be us three. This is Mint Madness right now. Steve didn't want to do. Steve didn't want to do the song. He ruined the song.
I ran out of breath.
Yeah, right. Like
That's how you know you're not in the trenches.
like Steve didn't want to do this.
I need to do cardio more.
I'm trying to let it. You guys are like Oz of Wakanda. Fuck you. Like these. You know what? You fucking do it. You tell us about it then.
so,
fucking bullshit.
What If is coming the end of this year.
Can't wait.
Can't wait for What If.
Yeah.
And then we've got
Yeah, that's-
Daredevil
yeah.
in 2025. The
Uh-huh.
Spider-Man.
What about
show.
Ironheart?
Ironheart is also coming 2025. Can't wait for that. I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
Yeah.
Well, what
I'm
month?
excited for
What
that.
month is it coming out?
I want to say it's coming out in, one of the 12 months.
Yeah,
in
you don't know.
2025.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
I'm
what
saying
about
March.
that?
Wonder Man is coming out December.
Uh-huh.
December
2025.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's very
Abdul
fun,
Mateen. They've got Ben Kingsley back.
Yeah, playing who?
Trevor.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's coming out.
What? Tell us. Go ahead and break that down for us.
I
Tell
can
us a
break it
little
down.
bit
They
about
showed us 2 shots. One of him swinging, which kind of looks like a PS1 game play.
Yeah.
And then the other
What year
one.
did the PS1 come out?
1994.
I figured that you would know something like that.
Six.
What was the original game that came out for it?
Crash
know.
Bandicoot.
Yeah, you don't know what the
94.
fuck
I
you're
wasn't
talking
there.
about.
94. I wasn't born then.
Yeah, so what?
But I was supposed to.
So
just-
maybe you should not jump in when other people are trying to say
So
stuff.
anyway, I think like what's really interesting is like Marvel Zombies as well.
Oh yeah,
Marvel
Zombies.
Zombies.
Zombies
Yeah, Blade
are
is
there.
in there,
Yeah.
right? So hey, we're actually getting Blade.
They
in
got a
there.
Blade. We finally
We got
a lot
Blade.
of
We
other
got
stuff.
Blade.
Mission accomplished.
Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Maybe some things that are around the corner for this year in 2025?
Sure.
What are those? What are those 2 things?
Mint-vember. No.
Not wrong. That's 2 shits.
What If comes out December 2024.
Yeah.
And then that's actually surprising to me that
Yeah,
there's
me
that trailer
too.
was coming out.
Me too.
And then they made a big deal
That's
of
another one.
advertising that Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
coming.
because hey, remember that thing that made us $1 billion? And like,
Okay. I don't know why, and maybe I'm still falling for the juice,
sure.
but I was excited to see a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. I don't
Wonder
know,
Man.
I don't know what Wonder Man
particularly.
is, but we got a year to figure that out.
Yeah.
I get a year plus.
Yeah, they're done filming on it, so it'll be like a nice long post production.
Yeah, I mean, this the HBO does this all the time, right? Like when
Yeah.
a show's either
Sizzle
sizzle
reel.
reel or like what's coming to HBO, I stay subscribed, whatever. And I think that I want to say this is like the first time they've done this, and a lot of the stuff.
I don't think it's the first time that they've done it. Period.
No, not period.
It's the
but
first
like,
one we've gotten in a while.
in a while
Okay.
of like Disney or MCU stuff coming to Disney Plus, and obviously I think the big stuff. We've seen the Daredevil footage, but I think another look at it, and it just looks like it's going to be like a hell of a time. You know,
I think Daredevil Born Again is going to work.
I mean, I would.
It'll be
absolutely
big
hope
for
so.
sure.
I would absolutely hope so. I mean, Ironheart. You know, we'll see what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's
We will
finally
see.
coming out.
We
They
will
shot
see.
it in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we're finally like going to see it to the light of day.
Yeah.
You know, see what it look like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, just be positive, guys.
I mean, absolutely.
yeah.
Be respectful.
Yeah, you got
Open hearts, open minds, iron hearts.
What
Can't lose.
Ironheart had a lot of momentum early on. It's one of those it did.
Okay.
I mean, they introduced a character in a Black Panther movie.
Sure.
So it was something, it's one of those shows, and I think maybe Wonder Man is also one.
Mhm.
One of those shows that has been kicked around for a while.
Yeah.
That you're wondering if it's in MCU purgatory.
Yeah.
Meaning if it's part of what people felt like they had to turn the page on, or if there's still room for it left.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Well, it didn't get Batgirled, so you
Yeah.
know.
Yet.
Well, no, I mean,
A lot of game left.
I don't know. It'd be kind of crazy if you wake up in like March or
That shit coming
April,
out.
and they're like, "Hey, we just
I don't
shelved."
think I don't think they're gonna Zaslav anything off.
We
of this
just
list, but,
we
like,
just shelved the Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Ben Kingsley show. We just do that in the garbage. That'd be kind of nuts.
Yeah, no, that would be nuts.
That'd be so.
Yeah. But I was excited to see all this.
Oh,
stuff.
definitely.
Stuff looks good.
I mean, what Spider-Man come out in January? We'll see what it look like. I have not seen any footage that makes me feel good about the animation quality of the show, but maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
We're also coming off of a very heavy Arcane bias over here.
My brother, how you supposed to go?
It's
That's
really
the-
tough.
Man, Arcane is beautiful.
It's like look at the
man.
Mona Lisa and then look at something made of Legos.
And then you come and that boy, he's swinging, bro. It's not even in like 6. It's at like 4 frames per second. Go
Right.
watch that clip of him swinging, bro. It looks bad, man. I'm sorry.
I need Charles. Where's Charles?
What?
But, like,
God
where's
forbid that we
Charles?
come out here and do our thing.
Charles, where's Charles, man? That's this.
Do you feel like this is an away game for you?
This is
Do you feel-
mint horse shit. I'm coming on y'all shit.
Horseman was right there,
You know what?
but
I'm gonna be
okay.
honest with you. I'm coming on y'all shit. How's that sound?
Okay.
How about this? For as long as Charles is gone, this is the crew.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
coming
yeah.
on. For as long as Charles is gone, this is the crew. I'm coming on y'all shit. I'll walk in that bitch.
Hey, yo, that's crazy. Bro, hey, come on, man. What you doing?
Pause.
Pause.
You down with the pause now? They're not gonna let you back into white society. You can't say that. So I'll be on you guys' podcast. That was crazy. So this is for as long as Charles is away. Mint,
Right.
I'm going to be the third mic on Mint Edition.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else? Because it was whatever. But I'll be the third mic
Yeah,
on
we'll
Mint Edition.
shoot you. We'll shoot you. We'll shoot you a
Yeah,
time.
don't call us. We'll call you.
Oh, I will fucking show up to it. Okay,
Yeah,
I know when it's filming.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll come in there. I'll show up there,
Mhm.
and then if you guys don't let me in, I'll bang on the door outside. So I want to see how you guys deal.
It's gonna be like an orphan at Christmas. Just like let us
yeah,
in.
I want to see how you guys deal. By the way, fans out there, if y'all want to see me operate as the third mic, you can either watch Rewatchables or
Wow.
you can
Yo. Jesus
He doesn't
Christ.
even leave the seat. He just
Jesus
stays right
Christ,
there.
man.
Or you can. I'm now third. I will speak when I'm spoken to on minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you guys do, and then you guys come to me because I'm gonna show you guys how you guys try to dominate me when Charles is around. A couple of bullies.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
the same thing.
I mean,
on
we
minute
got a
edition.
whole like schedule through 2024.
It's really
done.
tough.
Yeah,
it's really tough to
tight.
book out.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
have to
so
see what it
funny.
looks in
What we should
2025.
go
like.
into is, you know what, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do that.
Nope.
I'm not even gonna do that.
Was that office quote?
I don't have to do that.
Was that office quote? I've never seen such little power go to somebody's head.
But all I say is, you look out for niggas, and this is what happens. That's a wrap. Tomorrow, House of R will have their Agatha deep dive for you. This Saturday, Mint Van Bimber begins.
Jesus Christ.
Mint Van Bimber.
No manches.
It begins. Mint Edition with Van begins with Ben Lindbergh. Well, I'm not going to be on that one. To talk Arcane and Star Trek Lower Decks. Our producers are Steve, the Architect Ahlman, Isaiah, Overserved Blakely, and
Chill.
Aleya,
I have been
O'Brien,
over-
Zenieris, along with Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran, or on socials. Hashtag Jomi Bandinaron.
Because of the thing you just said.
Oh, wow, that's true.
Mm.
Additional production from Arjuna, The Watcher, Ramgopal. Jomi, Charles isn't here.
Me?
All right.
Okay. And
The audible gasp that came from it was like, oh
so
no,
Charles
he's got
isn't here. Do you want me to call Charles to send us off? Or do you want to try to send us off?
I can try, but I'm not. It's just the OG.
because
man.
you got to. If we did, then you'd have to give him like a Mad Lib of things that we talked about.
No. I bet he could still do it. But the question is, can Jomi do it?
I can give it a shot, man. Okay. Here we go.
Right.
Van, you're not coming on Mid Edition. You're really just a guy. Steve, I am begging you. Teach the MCU how to fly.
That was great.
A fucking plus.
Hey, killed it.
So
Yeah.
you know what another thing about Penguin is? Like, there are times when I'm watching the show.
Oh.
What up? You on the podcast?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard me. We recording right now.
Then why are you talking? Wait, why am I on the podcast?
You're on the podcast.
We got two questions
We got
for
two
you.
questions for you. Are you ready?
All right, shoot. What's the questions?
And we've all kind of made our own guesses about whether or not what the answers to these questions are. First one spawns the second one. First question. Have you watched the last 2 episodes of Agatha All Along?
Hell no.
Do it.
Thank you very much, Charles.
No shot.
Oh, y'all already knew the answer to that question.
All right, yeah.
That's
No
Charles
shot.
Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Chuck. All right, we're gonna ask you what the midnight meter on it was, but we can't ask you that because you didn't watch it. All right, man. Enjoy your vacation, bro.
All right, thanks. Peace.
That's so funny.